What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's ready for tomorrow. Some food and family and football tomorrow. Um, I'm definitely excited for all. Gonna do a little different video today. Every now and again I do these Cowboys responses and talk about the Cowboys and their season. And I thought this was a good point in the season to do this. Um, I wanted to speak about something in particular, you know, as a Cowboys fan. So, my entire life, I remember, in the '90s when the Cowboys were dominant. They're going 12-4, 13-3, 3 out of 4 Super Bowls. And I remember that whenever the Cowboys would lose, and they'd lose, a random game here and there in the season, my phone would blow up. I'd get a ton of phone calls. What happened? What's up with the Cowboys? What's up with your boys? Y'all lost. And my response back then was always like, it's one game. It's one game. And I knew back then, like, man, we had a great team. We were going to be in the mix. We're going to be there in the end. And so it was a little different back then because you're not solid at that these days, although I think this team is definitely going to make the playoffs. But, it seems that in today's day and age, we live in such a, you know, what have you done for me now environment, that people allow one game to completely impact, an entire season or your thoughts on a team. And to me, it causes for these drastic highs and these drastic lows on both sides of it that as a fan or even a team, I can't imagine anyone approaching it like that. And it's especially so for the Cowboys. So, after this loss to KC, the talk is, the Cowboys are overrated. They're overhyped. They played a good team and lost, and that doesn't necessarily happen as much for other teams. I'm thinking in particular Green Bay. They lost this weekend. Buffalo has lost their grip on first place in the AFC East. The Titans, who I hate it, and Bobby, if you're watching, I don't think the Titans are going to win that division. I haven't thought that since Derrick Henry went down. I think the Colts. A lot of people laugh at the Colts, but the Colts are for real, and Frank Reich's a good coach. I think the Colts win that division. But still, the Titans. The Titans lose to Houston, and nobody really bats an eye. And yeah, sure, people say they lost, but there's not that the sky is falling, the season's over. Just instant gratification. And I wanted to kind of recognize that and speak to why that might not necessarily be the case for Dallas. Could be, it could be, but um, all these things have been beat to death too. But we all know that. So the Cowboys, look at it big picture. So when I say big picture, I think the big picture goal this season and still today, even after losing to the Chiefs, is to try and get first place throughout the playoffs. And, that was a blow to it, no doubt. But if you look at it, Cowboys 7-3, Cardinals 9-2, Dallas and the Cardinals still have to play each other. Packers 8-3, Buccaneers 7-3. I think Dallas is still clearly in the running for, first place in the NFC, so to speak. I think they still have a shot at that. So the season's not over. There's still a lot to play for. The Rams are in there too at 7-3. I don't want to leave the Rams out. So that part of the season's not over. You look at the NFC East alone. Cowboys are 3 games up in the loss column. So the Eagles are playing better. The Eagles look better. Washington, yeah, maybe. The Giants, I think the Giants are done. But I think we are still in the driver's seat in the NFC East. You break down and look at the Cowboys' schedule. Got the Raiders tomorrow. I think that's a winnable game. I think we'll win tomorrow. Word I'm hearing, CeeDee Lamb is going to be back tomorrow. Tyron Smith is supposed to be back tomorrow, which obviously has left a glaring, as always, time to get a new left tackle, okay? But has left a glaring hole on our offensive line. And I think we're going to respond. I think you get a heavy dose of the run game tomorrow, a heavy dose of Zeke and Pollard, and I think and hope the defense will play well. The Cowboys just activated DeMarcus Lawrence today. That does not mean he'll play tomorrow, but he is in his 21-day window now. He's on the mend. He will be returning. Neville Gallimore is coming back. Kelvin Joseph is coming back. And Randy Gregory is going to be shortly behind DeMarcus Lawrence. And hopefully we don't have any other major injuries and we get a full complement of defensive players. So that game tomorrow, I think we win. All right, 8-3. At the Saints, probably getting Law back. It's a tough game. The Saints we always struggle against. I'll give us a loss, 8-4. At Washington, I'm going to call that a W, 9-4. At the Giants, I'm going to call it a W, 10-4. DC at home the day after Christmas, I'm going to call it a W, 11-4. That leaves us with the Cardinals, which would be a huge game at home. That's a toss-up. I'll go 11-5. And that Eagles game at Philly, that's going to prove to be a big, big game. But even if we lost, I think we're 11-6, and we'd be backing into the playoffs. But we could still lose that game and still be okay. But I don't think we lose all the games we lose. We probably don't win all the games we win. But I like 5-2 down this stretch. And if we can get healthy and get down this stretch and go 5-2, we might not get home field throughout. We really need it, but I think we'd have a damn solid year. Who knows? We could go undefeated down the stretch. Nothing is out. Nothing is impossible looking at this schedule. And then the second thing to do is to look at it where we are now in this game in particular. And it's been beat to death, that the Cowboys went into this game shorthanded already. So number one, the Chiefs are hot. The Chiefs started slowly, but they've heated up. They're playing a lot better. Their defense has gotten a lot better. So Dallas goes into Arrowhead, okay, on the road against a hot Chiefs team. Chiefs are at full strength, as far as I know. Cowboys missing an all-pro left tackle, starting a new left guard for reasons that are beyond me why they did that. Starting a new left guard without their number one wide receiver, also an all-pro, without there's two starting defensive ends, borderline all-pro defensive ends. This was and they lost their potentially all-pro other wide receiver before half. So honestly, as I watched this game, and I hate to say this, but I did not expect to go into Kansas City and win. I really didn't. And as I watched this game, I was looking for things to be pleased with. And you can do that. Like, everybody looks at a regular season game and they say, oh, it's a moral victory. You can't take a moral victory away. Well, in the regular season, you can, because the regular season is where you build the team for the playoff run. In the playoff run, there's no more victories unless you want to look to next year. But as long as I still have next week and a chance to get to the playoffs, I can still have moral victories. And the moral victory for me in that game was, we were missing a lot of players. Dak didn't play well. He didn't play well, but he didn't have a lot of help either. So not even counting the 5 drops, but the offensive line play was horrible in this game. No Tyron Smith, bringing in Conor McGregor. This wasn't Dak running into sacks. This was Dak being under pressure, running for his life, and I don't know, if it was the guys missing, if it was receivers not presenting a threat downfield, but you can't win like this. No quarterback plays well like this. Dak wasn't perfect, but this is a bit much for anyone. I wanted to look at this ball to CeeDee Lamb too, because I've seen CeeDee make this catch. Okay, it wasn't a perfect ball, but I've seen you give your guy a chance to make a play. So hey, pass blocking has got to get better. Teams have to be threatened on the outside, or else they're going to murder us. You make these catches and you keep these drives going, and things happen. The Chiefs were pressing our wide receivers. Teams have tried to do this, press our wide receivers, stack the box, and try and stop the run, which makes running extremely difficult. Now, big picture wise, when you get Lamb and Coop back, our team's going to be able to continue to press your wide receivers, and are they going to continue to be able to double Lamb and leave what would be Coop one-on-one pressed? I don't know. I don't think so. And, I think from a game like this, you can learn. And what I would say is, if you reverse this and you take this game and you remove Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs, okay, let's take away Tyreek Hill, their best offensive lineman. Let's take away two of their best defensive linemen, so that would be a Chris Jones too. And let's play this game in Texas Stadium, and let's give Dallas their full complement of players. And let's see what happened. And I'm not making excuses, but I'm saying you have to be able to look at things rationally, and hey, I think the Chiefs left points on the field. I think the Chiefs could have scored more points had they pressed more, but I think they knew they didn't have to. So I think they played conservative on offense, try not to make a lot of mistakes. They were stopping us on D. So there are things to take away. And then the biggest, most positive takeaway is this guy. So we got ourselves a stud in Micah Parsons. Look at him run down Mahomes here. He kind of fell to us, and I don't think he was going to be our first choice. But this guy lines up all over the field, and he's making plays just on every single play. He's making plays, and he is a Swiss Army knife. And this guy is going to be a beast going forward, and taking away Tyreek Hill. So, I don't think people understand when you take away an impact player, like an impact player on offense, the trickle-down effect that has on the rest of the team. And Cooper's a good example of it. You take Cooper away, all of a sudden you can double CD. Okay, you can bracket cover CD, because you can try to single cover the guy where Coop's not. Maybe you win 50% of those. But take away a guy like Tyreek Hill. And I like to look at Tyreek Hill, and not only is he a great receiver, but I think what makes the Chiefs go is Mahomes and Hill. Kelsey, but Mahomes and Hill. You take away Hill, and all of a sudden you can play all those other pieces differently. And Hill has this impact on the game that I call the Moss effect. So what is the Moss effect? So Randy Moss, if you watched him in the 90s, he had this way of making defenders just look stupid, because they were so scared of his athletic ability, they either wouldn't play the ball, they'd be hesitant to tackle him, they'd be hesitant to make a play, because they literally doubted their own ability going up against Moss. So you watch Hill, it might not seem as obvious, but see people hesitate. Hill can make one stutter step and make somebody hesitate. I put this play in, so watch Hill. He's in motion at the top. So you watch. There's one defender going with him. Now Diggs is the middle guy. Now when you look, there's Diggs. It left over the top Hardman one-on-one with the safety. They were scared of Tyreek Hill. Keep on watching. Watch this. Watch Keanu Neal. Whoop! Keanu Neal had him lined up, but he's scared of this guy. Watch this again. So when they dump it off the hill, watch Neal. He's got him in his sights. This guy can tackle. This is an NFL player. He falls on his face. That's the Moss effect. I thought this was the most glaring example of it. Anthony Brown. You watch this in slow-mo. Anthony Brown's not slow. So Anthony Brown is in perfect position here to make a play, but he freezes. He freezes right there. He froze. And that's all Hill needs. And he's got people on skates and scared. So I'm hoping, here's how you play it right. Watch KZ. I'm going to come up and take you. I'm coming up and getting you. I'm hoping they can learn from this. Like, you can't play afraid. And I'm not an NFL player, but look at KZ. So here comes the ball. I'm going to go get you. Not play afraid. I just think people refuse to understand that this is a process. Even the teams that win the Super Bowl, you look at Tampa last year, what were they, 10-6? It's a process. Like, the MVP isn't decided in week 4. The Super Bowl champion isn't decided in week 8. There could still be massive injuries for Dallas, for any team. There still could be hugely impactful things on the season. So, and it's not just Cowboys fans that do it, but it seems Cowboys fans are the worst. I mean, I see people wanting to fire McCarthy, cut Zeke. Imagine if we had, when everybody wanted to trade Michael Gallup or trade all these backup offensive linemen. Oh, we need to trade Lyle Collins. We've got Terrence Steele. And then guys go down and you don't have them anymore. So everything it doesn't have to be so knee jerk, and there's analytical, there's things to learn, there's ways to grow, there's things that go into making a complete season. And in the end, we might not win the Super Bowl, but just because you lose a game in the middle of the season to a good team doesn't mean you're not going to, wild card teams win the Super Bowl. It happens. Yeah. And do I think this is a Super Bowl team? I like this team. I'm excited about this team. I think we have a couple stars on defense to add to a really good offense. Something feels similar, I will say, to Cowboys I've always gotten used to, where a lot of times when they get smacked in the face, they play physical teams, they don't respond well. But I'm glad this happened now versus happening in the playoffs like it did against the Rams a few years ago. We get into the playoffs and we're like, man, we just got mashed. So I hope they can learn from it. I hope they can get healthy. This team needs to get healthy. I'd love to get through this 3-game stretch, 2-1. But if we go 1-2, the sky's not falling. The season's not over. It's a lot of football left to be played. You keep Dak upright. You give him a clean pocket. That's where Dak made his name. As a rookie, I watched him in the preseason. The thing that impressed me most about him was this dude standing strong in the pocket and making throws. Guess what? That's what Tom Brady does. Tom Brady ain't running for his life. That the elite quarterbacks aren't running for their life, and if they are, they don't do it for long. So protect the quarterback. Continue to play defense. Get healthy. Run the football. We got to get back to running the football. If you hung with me, I appreciate it. I know this was more for the Cowboys fans, which I have very few that actually watch my channel. But I enjoy doing stuff like this. I enjoy putting stuff like this together. And these are the thoughts. This is what I've been thinking all week, really. And I want to do more stuff like this. I probably won't, because it takes an immense amount of time to put this stuff together, and editing all this crap with my phone, which is terrible. The video highlights are terrible. I wished I had all the fancy stuff where I could really do it right. Maybe one day I will. Who knows? Anyhow, everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy football tomorrow. I hope your team wins, unless you're a Raiders fan. Y'all keep it real. I'm out.